All right, hope everyone is doing well. So this video is really designed to help you learn how to do a mixer utilizing your Impact Magazine. Now, while I'm going over the Impact Magazine, just know if you use a PowerPoint presentation or you use the Solutions for Your Success DVD or really any other format, a lot of the information I'm going over is universal. So don't feel like this is only if you plan on using the Impact Magazine. Now, personally, the reason I recommend using the Impact Magazine is because it's something physical that I can hand to somebody, have them take, and as I'm going through the mixer, as you'll see, they're thumbing through the pages that I have highlighted, and then they get to take this home with them. So maybe they don't do something right then. Well, they take this home, they sit it, you know where they sit it, and so they're thumbing through it while they're busy. And maybe they read a story that impacts them and they decide to do something later on. So I recommend the Impact Magazine for all mixers, and that's what I'm doing from here on out. And for any of my teammates, if I do a mixer for you, you have to order Impact Magazines, otherwise I don't do the mixer. That's how serious I am. So let's get right into it. The first thing that I want to do is just kind of go over the basics for a mixer, just so you guys know exactly what you should be doing with your mixer. So let me change screens here. All right, so you'll see on this document, mixer format. I'm going to increase that a little bit. First and foremost, let's talk about inviting. And of course, just know, you see that at the top, you can angle your mixer message more towards either product or business. This is not set in stone. This is just a good guideline to follow. So when you invite people, do not do a Facebook event page. I promise you it's not going to work unless you're just a master at social networking, okay? Most of us don't or not experts at that. So I don't recommend a Facebook event page. I recommend you actually reach out to people specifically. Remember, mixers don't have to be big. If you have 3 to 5 people in the room who are new, that's a great mixer, okay? Of course, the more people you get, the better, but whatever, 3 to 5 is great. Okay, so you're sharing your product story and then the stories of people that you've helped, okay? Let them know that they're gonna be able to sample some of the products and learn about the 24-day challenge. And I like to just say, hey, look, this may or may not be for you, but I want you to see what I'm doing, so that if you know somebody, maybe you can refer them to me. But again, leave your checkbook at home. We're not here to sell you on anything. I'm not going to try and convince you to do something. I just want you to see what I'm doing. Okay, so that puts me at ease and it puts them at ease as well. And let them know that you're going to respect their time. They're going to be out in under an hour, okay? And if you say that, you have to hold to that. And that's one of the biggest, one of the biggest things on my end is, if I say we're going to start at 7, even if somebody is running behind and they send me a message, I'm sorry, I've got to respect everyone else who showed up on time. We're going to start at 7. Okay, and that's why it's imperative to make sure that you're specific on the time that you want them to be there. If your mixer starts at 7, they need to be there at 6:45. Okay, and that kind of goes to that next area, so timing. Your setup should be completed 30 minutes prior to the mixer at a minimum. I like to get mine set up even sooner than that, just so I don't have to worry about if there's any technical errors, if I'm using a PowerPoint presentation, which obviously now I'm doing on Impact Magazine. So that's the other reason. No technical errors with the Impact Magazine. It's already there. You don't need anything else. That's a nice thing to have, and that's kind of puts you at ease as well. Okay, but all your setup, so if you've got a 24-day challenge that you're showing, or if the mixer is based on performance products, whatever it may be, you have your product set up. Okay, your Impact Magazines, those should not be set out. Those should be somewhere only you can grab. You don't want people grabbing the Impact Magazine prior to the event starting, because they're going to thumb through the pages and it's just, you're going to lose some of the people. So do not have these just sitting on a table. These need to be somewhere. I like to set them over by my TV stand, where it has little cubby holes, and so I just put them in there, and then when everyone sits down, then I hand it out, okay? Have your spark out and all that stuff. 7 p.m. is typically a good time to start during the week, okay? Let people know that you'd like them to be there about 15 minutes earlier, okay? Now, it does say on here it's okay to spend the first 15 minutes connecting with people. Okay, this is what we call the pre-mixer, and that's why I say try and get people there at 6:45. Okay, so if they're there at 6:45, the pre-mixer is you connecting with the new people. Okay, you should not be engaged in a great long conversation with people who are on your team and the people that you know. Try and reach out to those people you don't know, because when you're presenting, you can kind of modify your message based on who you've talked to and what you know about their goals and their needs. Okay, so the pre-mixer is very important. In fact, the pre-mixer and the post-mixer are the most important parts of your mixer. The actual mixer where you're presenting, you can pretty much screw that up. But if you do a great job at connecting with people, they like you, and you do a great job at the end asking good questions, everything that happens in between really, honestly, just isn't that big of a deal, okay? So don't skip on getting to know people. It's really gonna help you. If you're doing a mixer on Saturdays, anytime after like 11 or so is a good time to start, okay? As far as room setup, all right, we all love children, but the reality is we don't want kids running around because that's gonna be distracting. In fact, anything that is distracting, which includes pets, needs to be taken care of. So if you can have somebody watch the kids, great. If you can put the dogs, cats, whatever you have in a room, close the door, that would be great. Okay. And make sure you have some music playing when guests arrive. Don't have your TV on, okay? We're not there to watch TV. Have some music, and that allows people to feel a little more comfortable in talking. Okay, so make sure you don't put it so loud that people have to yell over each other and can't hear one another. Okay, only Advocare products should be out for sample. Okay, we're not there to feed people. So we're not having a shrimp cocktail, we're not having veggies and fruits and all that stuff. That's not what they're there for. They need to eat before they come or wait until after. Now, technically you can have some bars out to sample, and that's perfectly fine. But just make sure it's all Advocare products. Okay. The mixer presentation products need to be near like a coffee table, or like me, I do it on the TV stand, you know, somewhere where it's in front of where you're going to be presenting, so you're not having to walk across the room to go get the products, okay? Don't have too many products on display. Again, the 24-day challenge is typically all you need out with some companion products. But again, based on who the mixer is for, you may choose other products. Okay, and that's perfectly fine. Now, you may like to do a whiteboard or flip chart. With the whiteboard, the reason that I like having a whiteboard, and technically I don't use a whiteboard, I have pre-made posters, but it has the 4 relationships, and I have that up so I can kind of point over to it. Even though it's in the Impact Magazine and I have them flip over to it, I want them to see it a little bit larger, and I kind of point to it, okay? And then if you have any pictures, any results, man, make sure you have those out so you can show them. You know, put them up on the mantle or wherever you're going to be hosting, so they're seeing those pictures and seeing those stories. Now, as far as what guests get when they come, immediately you need a spark or get rehydrate in their body. And it's not, hey, would you like a spark? It's, hey, would you rather fruit punch or orange? Okay. Ask them what flavor they would like to try. All right, we don't want to get into the whole thing where somebody's like, oh, well, you know, does that have caffeine? You know, if it's after 7, so I don't want like caffeine after 7. Here's the thing, and you know, people laugh all the time, and my mom is like, I can't believe you guys do that. So yeah, I spark every single person, and it doesn't matter to me if they're up until 3 in the morning, because they know that it works. Okay, so if I get a call the next day and they're like, dude, I was up until like 3 in the morning, I could not fall asleep. I'm like, that's awesome, man. So you know it works. Let's get you hooked up. Okay, it ends up being a good thing. And I have not had anybody be really mad at me that they had a ton of energy. Okay, so spark everyone now. If you get that person, because on occasion you will, who will say no, then you can get Rehydrate in them. Okay, Rehydrate has no caffeine, it tastes good, and they'll actually feel good once they drink it. So it does make a difference. So that's an Impact product that can definitely work. Okay, so Another question you can ask is, do you need energized or replenished? I don't like that question, but it is one that you can use. Again, I like to just ask, hey, fruit punch or orange? What's your preference? And again, do not hand out any documents prior to the mixer. Okay, that includes the Impact Magazine, income disclosure statement, any of that stuff. Now, as far as the intro, the host is going to share the product story. Okay, so on that, if I'm doing it at my house, obviously I'm the host, so I'm going to start it. If you are the host and maybe you have your sponsor there to do the mixer with you, you are there to introduce your sponsor, thank everyone for being there, and then quickly share your 30-second story. Okay, you're not there to go into a bunch of detail. It's your 30-second story, introducing your sponsor, and then allowing your sponsor to go ahead and present. Okay, so I'll go into a little bit more detail as far as the two parts when I actually get into the mixer portion. So just hold off on that. You may want to use the Solutions for Your Success DVD and show some clips on there. We review the company legacy, so Charlie Regis, the safety, the doctors, the unpaid endorsers, all that stuff we're going to cover. And then you transition to the products, okay? So I always let people know, hey, look, the business may or may not be for you, but I truly believe our products are for everyone. And, you know, it's possible to have a booming business like we do with these amazing products. So let's just shift to the products. Now, we go into the product, so we share some stories, whether we have stories in the room or we just use them from the Impact Magazine. Remember, facts tell, stories sell. So we want to share as many stories as possible. In a mixer setting, yeah, we're going to share some facts. That's just what we do. But the reality is we want a bigger presence of stories, okay? And then if there are other products that might, you know, speak to your audience, feel free to share those as well. At the end of the mixer, you're going to hand out, there's a couple forms that you can hand out, okay? There's an entry discount levels form, which is like an order form for the 24-day challenge. So you have that. You can also share, you know, why Advisor just makes the most sense. And if you're really focusing on the business side of it, there is a franchise comparison document that is out there you can use. You know, definitely recommend or let people know about the 12-month satisfaction guarantee. And if you're not aware, if you do an Advisor order, you have 12 months to return any unused product for a full refund. All right. I don't know any other company where you can get in for $79 to join the company, invest $2,100 to get $3,000 worth of products, so $900 of profit built into it. And by the way, you get 12 months to be satisfied. If not, return the unused product and you get a refund. So pretty sweet deal and definitely makes sense. At the end of your mixer, there should always be a call to action. And I'll share what mine is when I start going through the mixer. And of course, we want to respect everyone's time, get people taking care of the product we need. We'll be around to answer any individual questions you may have. Okay, so at this point, you're pretty much letting them know that, you know, the mixer portion is over. Thank them for being there. Turn the music back on, and then just connect with people. You know, what I like to do is kind of pinpoint somebody maybe during the mixer who I think is really interested. And at the end of the mixer, I'll go straight up to them and be like, hey, so what part of this speaks to you the most? Or what part of this, you know, has your most interest? So get them to tell you. Don't just be like, hey, did you like it? It'll be yes. And then you can go into, well, what part of it? All right, you just don't need to do that. Just get right to it. All right, so make sure you end on time. Let's see, if somebody wants to think about it or mentions money as an issue, yeah, just have some Spark boxes ready. 22 bucks. You know, you may even let people know, hey, as a one-time special, if you want to get some Spark today, we have them for $20. Okay, $20 bill, they're good to go. And you can also consider raffling off some products. Now, I like to do the breath sprays that Advocare has. You get 2 of them for like $6 at retail, so our price is around $3. Definitely worth it, and you know, not a big chunk of change out of your pocket for it. Now, if you're doing a mixer that is more business oriented, or even if it's just kind of a combo, you can let people know, that, hey, there's going to be a business training afterwards for those who are interested in learning how we get paid with Advocare. Okay, so that's always an option as well. And then last but not least over here, so some of the items that you need. Obviously, you need products for display. And if you have products for sale, definitely have those on hand. 10-day cleanse in the Max Pack document. So have the little booklet. 24-day challenge order form. You can find that on buildthechampion.com. That's my sponsor, Matt Warren's website. You can have some of these other ones. I typically don't use them. Of course, I'm having the Impact Magazine. I have a flip chart available that's out. The flip chart you can get through your Advocare microsite, as well as the Impact Magazines. You just have to go to the business tools section. The flip chart is great if somebody is really interested in business. You can kind of go through that and show them how we get paid. Okay, or if you're doing the business quick training afterwards, you can use the flip chart for that. Some other optional tools: the rookie bonus document, business training trifolds, the order forms, Spark samples, water bottles, franchise comparison. So all those on there. I want to add one to that. It's the income disclosure statement, which I have right now. The last Impact Magazine, the new Impact Magazines actually include the income disclosure, so it's already there for you. All right, so this document, just so you know, is on our Facebook group page, the Hickey Business Builders. Just click on the Files tab, and it's under there. You'll see it. I think Mixer format, and it's a PDF. So make sure you download that, print it off, study it, and use it. All right, so now we're going to go through how to use the Impact Magazine. So setting yourself up beforehand. Now so these are the Impact Magazines that I would hand out to guests, and each page that I'm going to go over is earmarked. Okay, so you see I just folded that right there, and they're all earmarked. That way it makes it a little easier for them to flip to it, and they're not really having to search. Of course, I do say what the page number is. But the first thing that I do, again, if I'm the host, I'm thanking everyone for being here, letting them know that we're going to respect their time, and that we just really want to share who Advocare is and what's possible with it and how you can benefit from Advocare, and let them know that there are two things that we do in Advocare. One is we help people improve their health through the products, whether, this is how I say it, whether you're here just for weight loss, you need more energy, want to feel better, or maybe just general wellness, or even sports performance, we have a solution for you. And on the other side of that, Advocare offers a great business opportunity. Because we have products that work and get results, we have the opportunity to share them. So tonight, that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on those two things, and I want you to keep an open mind. The business isn't for everyone. I totally get that. I definitely believe our products are, but we want you to know both sides of Advocare, because you may know somebody who could be interested, and we always appreciate referrals. So with that, I want to go ahead and get started here. If you open up your Impact Magazine to page 7, I just want to talk about Advocare and who it was founded by and why Advocare was founded. So Charlie Regis is the founder of Advocare, and he really founded Advocare on 3 main purposes. One was to have the world's finest nutritional products out to the marketplace, because the reality is there are thousands of nutritional companies out there. So he wanted to separate himself and really have world-class nutritional products. Our products are based on the latest science, not the latest fads. And he also wanted to do this because he wanted to allow ordinary people like you and I to earn extra income for our families and to become more for our families. And that's why Advocare is through direct sales. You'll never find it on the shelves of GNC or any of your local nutrition stores. So that's why Advocare was founded. But I also want to let you know that you have options in Advocare. And this is where I'll have them flip to the back. So that last tab, which is page 71. And I'll also have my board up. But anyway, there's 4 ways that people can get involved with Advocare. And those ways are, first, as a retail customer. So, we're going to go over the 24-day challenge today. And while we have over 70 different products, our main focus tonight is on the challenge. But if you want to get started with any of the products that Advocare offers, we'd be happy to get you started at retail as a retail customer where you pay retail price. However, if you're like me and like many other people that I talk with, we like discounts. So Advocare actually offers a second option, which is what we call a wholesale customer. Okay, this is somebody that really doesn't have an interest in the business side, and that's fine. You join Advocare for $79. They give you 3 boxes of Spark, which is about a $70 value in itself, and then you can save anywhere from 20 to 30% on your products. Not a bad deal. And the only requirement is a $50 renewal fee every year. You're not required to purchase a certain amount every month, and there are no products that are going to be shipped to your door unless you authorize it. Okay, so that was something that meant a lot to me. To be real with you and transparent, when I was introduced to Advocare, I told my buddy, I said, hey, the products are good, but if I have to sign up for some funky deal where products are shipped to my house every month and I have like a monthly minimum, I'm out. And luckily, Advocare doesn't do that. Their products are good enough. You are going to reorder if you like them, okay? So they don't have to force you into anything. So definitely share that portion with everyone that's there. So those are the first 2 ways. Now the last 2 ways are more business relationships. So we have people who, what we call hobby distributors. Those are people who want to do 2 things. One is they want to maximize their discount because you can get up to a 40% discount on your products. And the other part of that is they want what we call the 4 Gs. You know, they want to earn enough income to pay for their gas, grocery, gifts, and games. And I guess we can add a 5th one in there. They want to pay for their products. You know, so that's an option for you. Again, just casually sharing it. They're not plugging into mixers like what we're doing tonight. They're just sharing with friends and family. Okay. Now, the other option, that 4th level, is somebody who does see this as an opportunity to share it with more people, to earn extra income for their families. And, you know, if they want, they can truly make a full-time income with part-time effort. You know, I'm living proof that that absolutely can happen. It's completely up to you. And the only difference between a level 3 and a 4 is mindset. You know, those who have the business builder mindset utilize the systems that Advocare has in place. They utilize the tools. And again, like I said, with part-time effort, they can earn full-time income. So those are your 4 options tonight. And of course, there really is a 5th option. You may think we're totally crazy and you don't want to do anything, and that's fine. The door's not locked. Okay, so if you need to, you can leave at any point. But hopefully you're here because you want change in your life. You want something different. So we want to make sure that you get the information that you need tonight, and we get you started on a healthy path. So whatever you choose is perfectly fine with us. We just want you to know your options. Okay, so now I've gone through that. Now I'm going to go into, so what I want to do is, you know, I shared a little bit about the history of Advocare as far as what Charlie Regis was looking for when he designed Advocare, but also, again, based on, you know, his beliefs, he wanted to have the best products on the marketplace. He wanted to base them on science, not fads. But the reality is, he wasn't a doctor. He wasn't in his garage formulating these products. So he put together the Scientific and Medical Advisory Board. Now, these are doctors at the highest levels in their field. It's nutrition, toxicology, oncology, men's and women's health, you name it. These are some of the top people. And a couple that I like to point out, I'm not going to go over all of them. You can research them on your own. But Dr. Dudrick. So this is a guy, you may not know his name, but you definitely know what he is known for. He has saved millions and millions of lives through the invention of the nutrition that goes into the IV. He actually did that back in the late 60s, early 70s. He pioneered that invention, and so that's really cool. He is the one that helps formulate our products. If he says it's safe, I think we're good. We also have Gail Cressy over here, who's one of the doctors over at the Cleveland Clinic. And don't worry, sometimes you have a little brain fart like that. It's cool. Okay, Cleveland Clinic. So one of the top clinics in the nation that help people with weight problems, nutrition problems, and all that. So she sits on the board to make sure that, again, our products are safe and they get results. And then we also have Dr. Carl Keene, one of the top researchers in toxicology in the world. Okay, so again, when we talk about safety, these are the people that are making sure that our products are safe and based on the latest science. Okay, now, with great products, you know, on top of that, we've got to make sure that, you know, they actually work for other people that are out there. So we do have amazing endorsers that utilize the Advocare products. Now, here's the cool thing about our endorsers is one, they have to have as good of a reputation off the field as they do on the field, so not just anybody can be an endorser with Advocare. And two, they are not financially compensated to say they use the Advocare products. In fact, they have to give up the right to endorse any other nutritional company, which is kind of crazy because a lot of these people, I mean, you look at Jason Witten is an endorser, Rich Froning, you know, they can pick up multi-million-dollar contracts with other nutritional companies if they really wanted to, but they love Advocare as a company. They love Advocare products, and they know that they're getting the right results, and they know that they're safe. Okay, so that says a lot. Now, they are given a certain amount of product throughout the year, so that's the only way that they're compensated, which, again, if the products didn't work, if they didn't like the products, there's no reason for them to do that. So it just makes sense. But they also know that they utilize the products because of this. So this is Informed Choice, and you'll see it on a lot of the products, a little sticker. Informed Choice is a third-party company that Advocare sends their products to test for any banned substances and impurities. Okay, now they test for over 200 banned substances and impurities. And so what that means for us is what's on the label is in the product, nothing more, nothing less. And what's in the product is on the label. Okay, so that makes sure that we know exactly what we're putting in our bodies. But the other thing too is we have athletes from collegiate sports all the way up to the Olympics that utilize our products. So we need to make sure that they're safe. And so if you look at us compared to, you know, the other top nutritional companies out there, most of them only test at the top around 50 to 60 banned substances, and then it drops dramatically into the 20s, and then, you know, some of your most famous and well-known brands only test for 1 or 2, if that. So this is a big thing, and this is why our athletes trust it. And look, if it's good enough for an Olympic athlete, if it's good enough for this guy here, it's good enough for me. So that's why I put my trust in the Advocare products, because of the Scientific and Medical Advisory Board, the Informed Choice testing, which again is a third-party company. Advocare pays millions of dollars a year to get that testing done. So with that, we have great products that get great results. And so this is Michael and Michelle. So together you can see Michael's lost 70, Michelle's lost 45. But what happened is Michael was actually working out. He changed some of his nutritional habits. And like many people, eventually you hit a plateau, because just cutting calories isn't enough. Just work it out isn't enough. You have to fuel your body with the right nutrition. So they jumped on the 24-day challenge. He lost 14 pounds, and he's kept, you know, going and lost an additional 70. So just amazing product results there. And a lot of people, again, you hit plateaus. The 24-day challenge can really jumpstart that and get you to the next level. So Meg McCarthy, she has lost a total of 78 pounds. But when she started her 24-day challenge, she was a busy professional. She's 23 years old, but she lost 17 pounds and 6 inches just on the 24-day challenge. And again, has gone on to lose 78 pounds. And when you look at those results, 78 pounds, obviously that's not in 24 days. So 17 pounds was in 24 days. But what happens during the 24-day challenge is you'll learn healthy habits, and those healthy habits continue going on. So you get results like that. Now, you also have somebody like Cody. Okay, he worked in the oil fields. And just FYI, guys, I don't know if you can see this. So where am I? There we go. Okay. So if you can see, I know it's kind of blurry right now. It's not focusing in. On each tab, I make a little note so I can quickly look at it, just in case I'm getting nervous or whatever and I forget. So anyway, Cody worked in the oil fields and was just really busy, and obviously not making the best choices, decided something needed to change. So he got on the 24-day challenge, lost 17 pounds, has gone on to lose over 70. So his whole life has changed. He's now working out and doing some amazing things. Now, this is a part where you may not do this in your mixers, but I have a story that is very personal to me that gets me choked up every time. But I always share Sarah Stalter's results. So Sarah was somebody who we got started on the 24-day challenge, lost 18 pounds on that, and now has lost over 130. And her whole life has changed, just the way that she is now, the things that she's about. She's on Tough Mudders, never would have done that back then. She was 5 foot, 264 pounds. But the kind of cool thing about this is when we first met with her, we had an Impact magazine just like this, and on the cover was a lady by the name of Eva Payne, who lost 145 pounds in the Columbus, Ohio area. And kind of said, look, this could be you. And all comes to fruition. She's in Impact magazine. That was fall of 2014. So, you know, share stories that can impact people. And you know what? If you cry a little, it's fine. All right? This is real. And you want people to know that you truly care, and you're not just like, oh, okay, so this is Cody Davidson. He was working in a managerial position in the oil fields. Got on the 24-day challenge, traded fat. Okay, that's boring, and that means nothing. People are going to be like, okay, I could read this at home. Why am I here? All right, so share stories that are emotional. So you may share the stories in here. You may have stories in the room. Okay, you don't have to use the stories that are in here. You know, you can let people know that there are stories, and maybe you share one just so they know where to go. But then go to the room, have people stand up, and make sure if you do that, that they have packaged their story. Don't just rely on, you know, oh, they know what to say. They may go on for 10 minutes. You don't want that, okay? 30-second story. Make sure that you're talking to people that you're gonna have share their story before the mixer begins. I mean, like a day or two before the mixer begins, okay? So we've gone through some stories, okay? So now we're transitioning. Now we say, you know, so you see the results. Let's get into a little bit more of what the 24-day challenge is and how it can benefit you and why we recommend that most people start here. Okay, so this is where you're going to put that down. You're going to go over to the table or wherever your 24-day challenge is set up, and you want to start going into the 24-day challenge. Now, I personally recommend that you go to advilcare.com/24-day challenge and watch the little video that goes over the 24-day challenge. Okay, that's what you should be using. That's what you should be mimicking. When you explain the 24-day challenge, it should not go longer than 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes max. So you let people know there are two phases to the 24-day challenge. There's what we call the cleanse phase, and I always like to add this. So I'll say this. So there are two phases with the 24-day challenge. The first phase is what we call the cleanse phase, and that's days 1 through 10. Now, I get it. If you guys are worried like, oh, a cleanse, don't worry. This is gentle and uneventful. Okay, so you're not going to have to take off work for 10 days. It's not that type of cleanse. The next phase is what we call the max phase, or what I like to call the life phase. And I'll share with you why I call it the life phase. But that second phase is just going to continue on. Okay, so those are days 11 through 24. So let's talk about the cleanse phase. First, you have your fiber drink, blah, 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 go into that, herbal cleanse, blah, blah, Spark. With Spark, you know, explain it how you want. I like to call it, you know, more focused energy that my mind turns on and my body follows, whereas things like coffee, my body goes, but my mind may still be in the dumps, okay? So that's how I like to explain Spark and Omegaplex. So just share it. Again, watch that little video, take some notes on that. And then we get into the life phase, okay? The M&S, I like to refer to it as a bucket of nutrition. Okay, it's not just pills, it's a bucket of nutrition. Do not pull the strip pack out, okay? That is one of the biggest errors I see people do when they're explaining the 24-day challenge. We're not pulling packets out of the boxes, guys, because here's what's gonna happen. Okay, you pull out that strip pack and you turn it around, and people who don't know what's in there, or maybe have a little bit of an aversion to taking pills, which we all know we swallow pieces of food that are so much bigger than those pills. But then they shut down, and all they can think about is pills. Okay, so just hold up the box and let them know. Say the M&S, it's called Metabolic Nutrition System, and it's a strip pack that contains things like your multivitamins, fish oils, antioxidants, calcium, appetite control, energy, probiotics. All the stuff you should be taking in a day is in a nice, convenient strip pack for you. Then move on. That's it. You don't have to go into any more detail than that. Okay, so do not pull out those strip packs. Promise you. You do? Look at the faces on the people in the room. You're going to see some who are like, oh, crap. All right, so that's just my little info for you. Then go into the meal replacement shakes. Now, here's my personal opinion on the meal replacement shakes. Use them as needed. you know, some people love to eat breakfast in the morning, but I always kind of will ask this question, hey, who in here gets in a good, solid breakfast in the morning that combines proteins, carbs, healthy fats, and a little bit of fruit? Rarely does anybody other than distributors raise their hand. So you can say, look, you know, if you don't have time to get to breakfast in the morning, that's where these meal replacement shakes are going to come in handy. Now, personally, I eat breakfast in the morning, so I utilize these as a snack, but it's up to you. What we don't want you doing, though, is relying on shakes or bars only to fuel your body. So the meal replacement shakes are used just in case you need it, or again, if you're, you know, in the morning, you're just rushing, the meal replacement shakes are going to be so much better option than just grabbing a coffee and a bagel or a banana. So that's why those are there, and then you can go on about Spark, okay? So I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over the 24-day challenge. You watch that video, take some notes, and then practice it. With all this stuff, you should be practicing. That's why we did, like, all right, obviously I'm recording this right now. This is part of my practice. But before Mixer, I go through this, okay? And I practice it out loud. I know it may seem weird, but I do. All right, so we've gone through that. Now, now we're going to transition into the business side, okay? Oh, one last thing. So you go over the 24-day challenge. Now I share why I call it the life phase, because, hey, this is what we recommend that you continue on, you know, going forward. And then every 90 days we throw in a cleanse. So things like the M&S, meal replacement shakes. I'll even talk about the companion products, which are things like Catalyst, Thermo Plus, Carvese Plus, and even Crave Check. Okay, so those are some of the products that I'm going to have out, and those are the ones that I'm going to recommend that this is what you continue on going past the 24-day challenge. Okay, so make sure that you include that. And now say, hey, so real quickly, I just want to get into sharing the opportunity side of Advocare. And I like the term opportunity, not business. So opportunity side sounds better than saying, hey, I want to get into the business side of Advocare, because when people already have a regular 9-to-5 and they hear that word business opportunity, they think, I don't have time. Okay, so opportunity side. And you start with your story. So share your story, where you came from. You know, for me, I was a busy small business owner working, you know, 80+ hours a week. I really had no time of my own. I was working from 5 a.m. in the morning, and I didn't get home until 8, 9, sometimes 10 o'clock at night. And all I wanted to do was eat dinner, watch TV, and go to bed, because I needed to wake up and repeat that over. And that was Monday through Friday. Saturday, I was there for most of the day. Sunday, I was there for several hours. I had no time for myself. You know, so financially, I was okay. But when the Advocare opportunity presented itself, what I saw in it was a way for me to leverage my time and be able to get time back to be able to do the things that I enjoy. And now I get the luxury of having a nice 6-figure income through Advocare, and it's growing every single year. And I am able to do those things that I want. I do Advocare full time, which full time in Advocare is 15 to 20 hours a week. Think about what you could do with all those other hours you now have available to you. So that's why we want to share the power of the Advocare opportunity. And this is where I'll kind of pull out the income disclosure statement. So I always have it. Oh, I didn't set these ones up yet. My bad. All right. So I always have it in the back there. And I'll say, go ahead and pull out your income disclosure statement. And I just kind of want to go over that real quick. So this is the income disclosure statement from 2014. That's 2016 now, but 2015 hasn't come out yet. When it does, you can have the updated one. But you just want to share some things. You know, for me, I'm at what's called this emerald level. And you can see the incomes there. But really what I want to focus on is this first level with the silver. That's the first leadership level in Advocare. And that's an extra $1,000 or so per month that the average silver distributor is earning. And an extra $1,000 a month can really impact a lot of people. If you look at the average person, there's a lot of studies out there. Over 60% of the US population cannot afford a $500 emergency, whether that's a car breakdown, a health issue. Most people can't afford it, and that's scary. So with 3 to 5 hours invested in working, that's per week, invested in working your Advocare business, just casually sharing it with friends and family, following up with them, it's very simple to earn an extra $1,000 with this opportunity. So that's why we kind of like to focus on that level there. And if that's something that interests you, I mean, we can always talk more in depth about it. But I also just want to share some other stories about other distributors in Advocare and what they've been able to accomplish. So go ahead and open up your magazines back up to page 63. These are my friends, Tony and Abdul Abermela. And actually met Tony and Abdul through Advocare at an event in Columbus, and we've just become really close friends. In fact, they're the reason that I moved to Florida, which is kind of cool. But Abdul, I love his story, and this is why I want to share. So Abdul is a sheriff with the city of Columbus, and he still does part-time. He goes back and forth from Florida to Ohio. But he knew about Advocare for a very long time. He was a bodybuilder, kind of, big ego and all that stuff. He'll admit to it. But he wanted nothing to do with it. Okay, but what happened is when he got out of bodybuilding, he still ate like a bodybuilder, but wasn't working out like one, and he started gaining some weight. And he really realized it when he was chasing down a suspect and he couldn't get him. And he had to stop and take a long break to recover. And he realized, man, something has to change. So he jumped on the challenge, got great results, and started just helping a few other people who noticed his results. And just by him helping other people, he received a check in the mail from Advocare from people who went to his website and placed orders. So from that, he realized, well, wow, I really didn't do a whole lot. What if I actually plugged in? And now they're at the same level that I'm at, that emerald level, and have life on their terms. And that's, again, why they moved here as well, is they wanted to be down south and have a place here in the winter, but they also still have their place in Columbus. So they go back and forth now. And it's just, what Advocare allows you to do is have options. And that's so important. Now, we also talk about Sarah. So the story that I just shared about Sarah, kind of the same thing. She had no interest in the business whatsoever. I mean, trust me, we even tried to get her to enroll as a discount customer. She didn't want it. She was just buying retail from us. Finally, we kind of forced her to do it because we were tired of her paying full price. But anyway, so after she lost a decent amount of weight, really realized that, you know what? Why shouldn't I be helping other people? Like, I feel good. I want to now pass that on and help other people. So just by way of results, she got into the business. And now they're at the silver, teetering on the gold level in Advocare. And, so they've been able to do amazing things with it. And again, they're working it as a part-time basis. And then you have Matt and Kelly Cerniar, who they're kind of like I was, very successful in what they did. With Matt, he was a medical device sales rep, so they make a good living. But the reality is, he was away from his family all the time. He was not seeing his kids grow, and he wanted to be able to be there for his kids for their events and all that. So they were using product for years, okay, but never did the opportunity because, again, finances weren't the issue. They didn't need to make more money. What they needed was time. And they looked at Advocare as a way to get time back. And now they're both stay-at-home parents with their families. And another story with that, if you actually flip back over by where I have the endorsers, turn to page 29. So Eric Lichter, okay, he was the strength conditioning coach for Ohio State Athletics, so the Buckeyes. And, he has a great story. He has been on the Advocare Sports Advisory Council for years, and the Sports Advisory Council just works with the PsyMed board to make sure that the athletes' needs are met, so they come up with great products, and that's why our performance line is phenomenal. But Eric Lichter, he would wake up in the morning, it was pitch black outside, he'd go to his job coaching, he'd get home, it was pitch black at night. At the time, he had 3 kids. He loved them dearly, but he was not watching them grow up, and it killed him. And when he had his 4th one, he finally decided, you know what? It's got to change. I love these products. I love the company. What if I just went to work and started sharing it with people? And so he went to work, and in a very short time got to the diamond level, and now he's a platinum distributor in Advocare. But he got there very quickly because his purpose was big enough. He did not want to sit on the sidelines and watch his daughter grow. Okay, so he is there with his family now, again, both full-time stay-at-home parents. And that's awesome. That's what Advocare can be for you. So I don't want to assume that you don't need this opportunity just because, you know, financially you may be well off. And I don't want to assume that you don't need this opportunity just to make an assumption. You know, that's why we share what's possible. And what we do in Advocare is very simple. I don't come up with this magazine. I don't formulate the products. I'm not doing the labeling. I'm not doing the shipping. I'm not doing payroll. My job and your job, if you decide, is very simple. Help improve people's lives, whether they're interested in the product or if they're interested in the product and the business opportunity. We just help them move the ball down the field so that they can achieve the results that they're looking for. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, if you know, having a bigger purpose in life and maybe getting out of the rat race, you know, because you truly can build life on your terms with an opportunity like this. And with Advocare being a 23-year-old company, we are on solid ground. It is a debt-free company, and I mean, they support you all the way. And you've got people like myself who are invested as well. So if you decide to say yes to this, we're there to help you, coach you on what you need to know. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So with that, guys, I appreciate you taking the time to come out tonight. I hope this was impactful for you. And I'm going to be around, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. But for those of you who maybe need to head out, feel free to. I do have some product if you're interested in the 24-day challenge, or maybe you just want to pick up some Spark. I've got that. For new people, if you're just interested in the 24-day challenge and you want to get it tonight, you're going to have it for a special rate of $190. If you just maybe want Spark for right now and think about the rest, I've got that, and a box is $20. Okay, so you can do something like that. And then that's where you end it. Put the music back on and get on with your day. Okay, so guys, that's how I do a mixer with the 24-day challenge. And again, after the mixer, I'm going to somebody. I'm like, hi, so what did you think? Okay, what part of this did you like the most? What part interested you the most? All right, so that is how you do it. I hope this helped. And yeah, that is about it. So I appreciate you being on this webinar. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, your Impact Magazine, you can order online through your Advocare microsite. This income disclosure form is on your Advocare microsite too, under the tools and resources, I believe. It's going to be in the new Impact magazines though, so if you get the new ones, this is not the new one. It's already in there, so you don't even have to print it off. However, just so you know, these ones, which are still good, I mean, it's fall of 2015, they're on sale now, 10 for $5, whereas the new ones, it's 10 for 15. So it just depends on what you want to do there. Completely up to you, but I highly recommend this. Use these. There's no technology needed other than you and your mouth, okay? One other thing, speaking of you, that I did not talk about at the beginning. What should you wear to a mixer? It depends on the audience. If you're coming to my house, I'm in a t-shirt, jeans that probably have some holes in it, and I may even have my flip-flops on, okay? You're coming to my house, I'm gonna be relaxed, and I hope you are too, okay? If I'm going to a business, well, I'm gonna be a little more professional, maybe a polo shirt, jeans that don't have holes in them, and brown shoes, okay? So that's just some things to think about. I mean, obviously, you should dress to what your audience is gonna be, but I just like to make things fun at my house. I don't want people to feel like it's all stuffy and you have to be proper or whatever. We try and have fun with it. And of course, you can do a little raffle at the end. Maybe be like, okay, who can name one of the 4 relationships that Advocare has? Okay. And one thing I didn't cover, which is probably, I really should, once you talk about the disclosure statement, then you can go back to the 5 ways that we earn income. Okay. So maybe say, okay, what's one of the ways that we earn income? And then you just toss, it comes in a pack of 2, open it up in front of them. Okay. Don't have it already opened up because you're like, okay, did you use this one? Okay, so you tear it open there and then just throw 1 to each person. You don't have to give each person 2. So again, hope that was helpful, and yeah, let's get some mixers booked, man. And mixers are, they're a key tool and a key resource that we use to build our business. So don't ever discredit them. Make sure you're doing them often, and don't worry about being polished. You do not have to be perfect at this. I screw up all the time in things that I say. And I've been doing this for almost 6 years. Okay, it happens. So not a big deal. The big deal is that you do them. Okay, if you want success in Advocare, it's all about action. It's not about this. Okay, it's about taking action and doing mixers using the success system. So utilize your sponsor, 3-way calls, 2-on-1s, and mixers. So with that, enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to you soon.